Hello, we're here for another episode of Nancy and Suzanne
And our excellent adventures.
and our excellent adventures. We're all in this together, right? We're gonna spread out a little bit. We're back today, and I wanted to start out with enrollment. First of all, great job, everybody getting enrolled. Butler County has 446 children enrolled, which is awesome. That's 68% of our funded enrollment. We still have spaces, so keep recruiting when you're out and about in the neighborhoods. Preble County, you're at 105 children enrolled, which is great. You're at 77%. We have a few spaces up there. We will never get to full enrollment. We don't have enough spaces. Talking about enrollment, I want to talk a little bit about attendance. An exciting study came out of Ohio State University. It's published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence, and it looked at a group of people who they have data going way back, and now they're 22, 23 years old. And there's kind of this misconception that early on among parents, early on attendance is not a big deal. But in reality, it really is a big deal. So what they found is when they looked at a variety of outcomes, such as criminal behavior, political participation, and economic hardships, they found that really if the child did not have good attendance early on, they were less likely to be politically engaged, and education and economic success was far less likely. So it was interesting to see for them the things that really were impacted. They were less likely to be able to pay their bills, more likely to be on government assistance, less likely to have a job, and reported poor education outcomes, a lower high school GPA, and lower likelihood of going to college. Pretty far-reaching consequences for a 22 or 23-year-old from what happened early on. But you know why? They layered it down to disengagement. If you start out being disengaged with school, you may end up being less engaged with society more broadly. You're less likely to vote, less likely to go to college, less likely to be employed. So disengagement may be the key factor. So I know we're great at engaging kids, and if we can start talking about that, we'll have better attendance. I'm going to turn it over to Nancy.
So, speaking of engagement, continue to engage your families in those at-home activities. We have a shortened schedule due to the Group 1, Group 2, so all the more important that these at-home activities are being done. Be careful of the wording that you use, though, because homework has a completely different mental model than at-home activities do. When you think of that, you're thinking a child doing that on their own over worksheets, and that's not what this is about. This is about the parent and the child engaging with each other, supporting your work in the classroom, and continuing on with that. So, and then also speaking of engagement, just because Suzanne and I can't be out at the centers because we're trying to be good COVID representatives of physical distancing, we still really want to hear what's going on in your classrooms. We love to see it. So please send us pictures, if you don't have a picture and you had a cool experience or activity, share that with your site manager or send us an email. We love to hear those stories and see those pictures. So please keep them coming. We love it. So also speaking of COVID, we know that plans, best laid plans, and things look good on paper, and then there's always tweaks that need to be done once implementation starts. We have policies we have to follow, and those come from our Department of Health and the governor and all of that. So there's some things we cannot change, but we know that there's ways that we can tweak from time to time. So I know you guys are thinking about that as the weather's starting to get colder. What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with that? And that's good. We want to hear those ideas from you guys because you're the ones that are going to be the experts on how it gets done. So the way that you can do that is to share that with your site manager, who will then share that with us. So we meet with the site managers every single week because a lot of the COVID things are going on. So we know that we need to make adjustments and alterations, but we want to do so in a safe and responsible way. So share the ideas. We'll put it up the flagpole and see, what works, and then get back with you.
We really appreciate you guys
Mm-hmm.
very much, and we hope that you find these to be helpful. If you have something you want to talk to us to talk about, just send us an email.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
We hope to see you in some of your staff meetings coming up too,
Yeah.
right? Thank you. Bye.